Martin Gardner sat on the porch of his desolate home, clutching a photo album he had received years after the tragic day that changed his life forever. That album had become a symbol of his loss, a living testament to a terrible tragedy. Martin's gaze stopped at the pictures of his small and innocent children, Talon, Saya, Savi, and Yazi. These pictures were all he had left of his happy days. As he looked into their faces, he could almost hear their voices filling the house with laughter and warmth once upon a time. Martin's first child, Talon, was only 4 years old. To his father, he was the light of his life. Martin dreamed of spending all his free time with him, teaching him everything he knew, and one day, drinking beer with him when Talon would be a grown man and Martin himself would be gray and wise. Little Saya, who was only 3 years old, always ran to her father when he came home from work, remembering to take her cloth doll with her. She always asked Martin to give both her and her doll a kiss before bed. This always brought a smile to her father's face, and he performed this sweet ritual with seriousness and respect. Savi, a 2-year-old girl, was silent and intelligent. She loved to flip through books and watch animal movies. Martin often took her on his lap and read her favorite stories to her. He saw in her the potential of a future intelligent and serious woman who would achieve great heights in life. Yazi was the youngest, still a tiny baby with deep black eyes. When Martin looked into her eyes, he saw a vast world there. Those eyes were exactly like those of her mother, Shania Gardner. Martin remembered how happy he was that she had given him this beautiful world full of love, comfort, and children's laughter. But that world was shattered one fateful day. Shania Gardner was born in the late 1980s in Memphis, Tennessee. Little is known about her early years, except that she was the daughter of Eleanor Snodgrass, who once lived in the cozy cabins of Madison, Alabama. Shania's childhood and youth were routine, like many other girls at the time. A young brunette with curly hair, slender and beautiful, she was always surrounded by loyal friends and displayed bright talents. She had a true creative spirit, with a unique gift for composing songs. Music was her passion, and singing was her way of expressing herself. Her vocal abilities caught the attention of the locals, and she became somewhat of a local celebrity. However, singing was just one of her many hobbies. Shania was fascinated by the world of fashion and photography. She looked great in front of the camera and had a talent for turning everyday moments into works of art. Despite these colorful interests, she was also a woman of charity, deeply involved in religion. She often attended church and carefully cared for her family. Everything in Shania's life seemed set and promised a bright future. At just 14 years old, Shania met Daryl Clayton. Their relationship began as a casual friendship but grew more serious over time. By the time they graduated high school, they had officially become a couple. Though considered stable by those around them, there were some questionable episodes in their past. Both had minor offenses on their record, such as traffic violations and disorderly conduct. In 2008, Daryl faced serious charges of assaulting a woman, though the charges were later dropped. That same year, Shania and Daryl had a son, Dee. Shania took on the role of a devoted mother, not just to her son, but also to Daryl's 2 children from a previous relationship. Despite her deep care for the children, her relationship with Daryl did not last. After their breakup, they maintained distant communication. In time, Shania moved on and found love again with Martin Gardner. They married in September 2013 and settled in an apartment complex in southeast Shelby County. Their family quickly grew. Talon was born in 2013, followed by Saya in 2014, then Savi and Yazi. A devoted mother, Shania worked part-time at a children's hospital and actively participated in a charity that raised funds to help children in need. Life seemed peaceful and happy until July 1st, 2016. Friday, July 1st, 2016, started as an ordinary day. Around noon, Shania spoke to Martin on the phone. Her voice was calm. She told him she was going to watch a movie with the kids. Nothing in her tone indicated that something terrible was about to happen. But then, something inside Shania changed. Suddenly, she took a kitchen knife and went into the living room, where she attacked her 6-month-old daughter, Yazi. The defenseless baby had no chance. Once inside, Shania went to the bedroom where Savi and Talon were waiting. There, the horror continued. By the time emergency services arrived, the damage had been done. The responding officers found a bloodied Shania and her 4 children lying motionless inside their home at 7449 Southern Hill Drive. In a chilling moment, Shania dialed Martin's number and, in a quiet and cold voice, confessed to killing their children. Shania was immediately arrested and taken into custody without bail. The community was left in shock, struggling to understand what had led to this monstrous act. Experts debated whether she suffered from postpartum psychosis, which can lead to delusions and irrational behavior. During her trial in 2021, her defense argued that Shania suffered from severe mental illness. However, the prosecution countered that she knew the difference between right and wrong. The court rejected her insanity defense, and in December 2021, she was found guilty on multiple charges, including 4 counts of first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and child neglect. In February 2022, Judge James sentenced Shania to life in prison without the possibility of parole for 51 years. Given the 5 years she had already served, she would be eligible for parole at age 80. In the wake of the tragedy, a candlelight vigil was held outside the family's former home. Friends, family, and neighbors gathered to mourn the innocent children. The hospital where Shania once worked expressed condolences, and Martin's colleagues created a fundraiser to help him with funeral costs. Through all the pain, Martin showed incredible resilience. During the funeral, he spoke about his children and his home, emphasizing that despite the tragedy, his memories of them would always remain full of love and joy. This story is a painful reminder of the devastating impact of mental illness and the importance of recognizing the signs before tragedy strikes. It also stands as a testament to a father's enduring love for his lost children.